want you to get it on video.
It could be a ghost, an elemental.
At the beginning of the movie, a boy comes to a woman named Minda and asks her for help. He brings her to an abandoned house and tells her that his friend Luna is behaving very strangely. Minda asks Luna what she is doing here, to which she said she is going to look over them. Minda asks who, on which Luna points towards her. But when she looks back, there is no one there, and when she looks back, Luna has turned into a demon, seeing which Minda starts vomiting. She brings that boy out of that house and goes to her Aunt Migda. She tells her that a girl has given her the evil eye, and then she starts vomiting blood. Migda brings her inside her house and starts reciting some spells on her, due to which Minda becomes normal after some time. Now Migda says that the girl did not do this, and then that boy sees Luna standing outside the house, who runs back towards the forest. We then see a girl walking alone on a road when a girl named Jean asks for her help. She sees that a knife is stabbed into her back, and only then a boy named Bobby comes there from behind her with a knife, fearing that the girl runs away from there. But we learn that Bobby, Jean, and their friend Val were making prank videos for their YouTube channel. Now the next day, Jean's dad comes home and shows her the video and asks if she finds it funny. He scolds her and says that it will be better if he sends her to Nebraska with her grandmother. Hearing this, Jean gets very angry and refuses, on which her father says that if she does not listen to him, then she will not get any allowance. Jean shows him the money and says that she earns a lot from her videos. She explains to her dad that she is good at this work and other people love her for this, on which her dad starts reading hate comments on her videos. Now one day they decide that they will go out of Manila, for which Jean calls her ex-boyfriend Sherwin because Bobby does not have a license. Sherwin brings them to an abandoned building outside Manila. When all their friends are asleep, Sherwin and Jean sneak inside the building where they encounter a strange woman who asks them for money to buy food. Sherwin gives her some money, after which they drive her away. They then come back downstairs to their friends and Jean tells them they encountered a beggar a while ago. She wants to give her money, and while she is doing so, she wants them to get it on video. Sherwin asks her if she thinks her dad gonna be pleased just because of that. Only then did Val say they can make it more fun so it could go viral. Jean agrees to this, but Sherwin does not like their idea, and he says he is out of this. Now all three start searching for that beggar, and when they find her, Jean says that she will scare her and make her believe that she is a serial killer. When she tries to run away, she will make her believe that they are going to kill her. And then, to make her calm down, she will give her the 5,000 pesos. Now they do the same, and according to their plan, the beggar starts running in fear. Then Bobby ties her up and Jean says that she will kill her. Bobby asks Jean to end the prank here, but she says that they will take her to the rooftop and there she will reveal herself. Now after some time, Jean tries to tell her the truth and says that they will not harm her. She tries to calm her down and gives her 5,000 pesos, but the beggar tears off the money and attacks Jean. Bobby frees Jean from her, after which the beggar starts going backward crying and falls down from the building. And when all three come downstairs, they are surprised to see that the beggar has disappeared from there. Now seeing this, they all get worried and start blaming Jean for this. But Jean blames Val for this, which leads to an argument between them. Meanwhile, Sherwin also comes there and Val tells him that the beggar fell off the building. Bobby says that they should leave, after which they all come back from there. Now on the way they stop at a gas station and Sherwin and Bobby go to buy cigarettes. During this, Jean checks the recording on the camera and only then the car starts shaking. Jean thinks that Val is doing this, but then that beggar appears there, which scares them both. But it is actually Sherwin. Jean tells him that the beggar was right here, and then Bobby also comes back. Val also tells him that they really saw the beggar, but Bobby does not take them seriously. Now after coming home, Jean is editing that video for YouTube when Sherwin comes there and asks her if she will show everything she did to that beggar, to which she says only the part where she gave her the money. She says she will make an opening speech so that people will understand the context. Now in the night when Jean is sleeping, her dad calls on her phone, and only then the doll of that beggar attacks her. But it turns out to be a nightmare. She gets up from the bed, closes the window of her room, and goes back to her bed. but then the door of her room opens automatically. She closes the door in fear, but the door opens again and suddenly the beggar attacks her. Now it is again a nightmare, but there is a bruise on her hand and only then she starts vomiting. The next day she goes for a checkup with Sherwin and the doctor. Sherwin's dad tells them that her blood pressure is high. She tells the doctor that it seems there is a monster that's bothering her in her sleep. The doctor tells she is suffering from sleep paralysis, and it's been causing her stress. Just then a nurse comes to call the doctor and he goes out. And after he leaves, Jean tells Sherwin that they should find the beggar as she wants to ask for forgiveness, and it's the only way for her to have peace of mind. They then both go back to the same building to find the beggar, but they do not find her there. Now on the way they stop to ask a boy named Quentin about that beggar. But only then Jean starts having severe pain in her stomach. So she gets down from the car and starts vomiting. Quentin checks her vomit and tells them that they will take her to his mother. Now here we see that he brings them to Minda and tells Sherwin that she is a faith healer. Minda tells it's an evil eye hex, and only then Jean vomits blood on her face. She says it's not an ordinary person that has hexed her. Minda breaks an egg in a glass jar filled with water, in which she sees a face. She then brings another jar of water and pours it all over her. And Quentin tells that it's Minda's powerful saliva. She then says Pwera usog, and Jean comes down. Minda then says she is safe and needs to rest. Now after some time Quentin comes to Sherwin and tells him that it's a serious case of evil eye hex that happened to his girlfriend. Sherwin clears she is not his girlfriend and then asks him what is usog. To which Quentin explains that when a person has it, usually children, an illness happens just by getting a simple greeting or a bad stare from a stranger. There are also cases that it's from the stare of a bad spirit, an elemental, even by a demon. On the other hand, Val tells Bobby about her strange dream, to which he guesses that she saw a shadowy figure with strange eyes, and she gets shocked that he guessed it right. Bobby asks her to stop thinking about the beggar, but she asks what if they really killed her, to which he says who cares. Now they both are about to kiss when Bobby sees a shadowy figure inside the house. He goes inside to check but finds no one there, and tells Val that he thought he saw someone. Then suddenly there is a severe pain in his stomach, but then he recovers and starts laughing. But suddenly blood starts coming out of his mouth and eyes. Val gets scared seeing this and takes him to the hospital. Here Minda tells Sherwin that she and Magda saved her saliva when she was still alive. Their family had been curing such illnesses for many generations, and they decided to save some magical saliva. Then Jean also comes out and asks, does the beggar have something to do with this? Hearing this, Sherwin says that they must leave, but Minda stops them and gives them 2 amulets to wear, saying that they will protect them from the bad elements. Now when Sherwin tries to give her some money, Minda says they only help people in need. Here Val wakes up from sleep and sees that Bobby is not on the bed, and she finds him lying dead in the bathroom. Now when Sherwin and Jean arrive at the hospital, Val tells them that Bobby is dead, and the doctor said that it might be a drug overdose. But she thinks that's not the reason, and he told her that he had the exact same dream that she had. A lady who looks like a witch. Jean says that she too had a dream, and Val says it's that beggar girl. She is the witch, and that is why she didn't die when she fell off the building, and saying this she faints. Now Sherwin is still not convinced that this is all supernatural. But still, he asks Jean why Val is still safe. She also dreamt of the witch, so why she hasn't become sick like her and Bobby. Then Val's mother comes there and here they come to know that her mother had tied an amulet on her leg, and when asked by Jean, she tells that it was given to her by a faith healer. Now later Sherwin asks Jean whether that witch will harm him too, because he did not take part in that prank. Jean asks him about the amulet given by Minda, to which he says that he threw it away. We are then shown the past of Luna and Quentin, in which Quentin notices that Luna is talking to someone and when he looks there, he sees a shadow, which disappears the next moment. Now the next day they find some bananas in the garbage but Luna says that it is for her new friend, and she brings him to the same abandoned house. She offers those bananas to someone there and then a spirit appears there and Quentin wakes up from sleep. Later, Minda notices that Quentin is upset, and he tells her that he dreamt about Luna, and the soul of Catalina. Now Minda tells him that last night when she was examining Jean, she saw that Catalina was the one who hexed her. He says Jean said something about a beggar, and he thinks it was Luna. Minda says there is a possibility that Jean did something to Luna that made Catalina's soul angry. Now again a scene from the past is shown in which Minda, Magda, and Quentin go to find Luna. They find Luna on a deserted road but Magda tells her that Caitlin's soul is watching her. Only then do they see that Luna has disappeared from there, and they are surprised to see this. Then suddenly Luna attacks Magda and cuts off her locket. And through her, Catalina says it's her body, and whoever invades her, she will surely kill. Magda asks Minda to take Quentin out of there, after which she starts bleeding from every single opening of her body and dies there. Just then Jean and Sherwin come there asking for help, and Quentin asks them about the beggar. Jean tells them the whole story, and Minda here tells them about Catalina. Catalina was living alone in a mansion in the middle of a forest. In their town, there have been frequent cases of missing persons, and many of them were children. Catalina was abducting these children and taking them home. That's where she sucked up all the energy of the children until they died. When the townsmen found out about it, they all went to Catalina's mansion to get rid of her. But even though Catalina was dead, she was still abducting people to suck up all their energy. Catalina is taking her revenge on her, because she hurt the only remaining person she was getting her powers from. Sherwin asks her if Catalina abducted Luna when she was a child, why Luna is still alive unlike the children she abducted before. To which Minda says that instead of getting all her energy at once, she took care of her. Quentin asks Jean if she can take him where she found Luna. After this, Sherwin and Jean take Quentin to that abandoned building, and Jean says that they will also go with him, because Catalina will not leave them alone till they fix the mess. Now all three come inside the building where Sherwin finds Luna's doll, which haunts him. He tells both of them about that doll, and Quentin makes a circle of salt around that doll and lights the candles. In a short time, he reaches another world, where Catalina attacks him and says that he will never get her from her. Then he also sees Luna there, who is asking for his help. And here Quentin starts having strokes, but Sherwin and Jean wake him up. On the other hand, Magda warns Minda that Quentin is in danger. Here all three start searching for Luna when suddenly Luna comes there and starts chasing Jean. Jean escapes and runs back inside the building and calls Sherwin and Quentin for help. But Luna shows up and takes out her locket. She tries to kill her, but Sherwin and Quentin come there. Sherwin tries to save her, but she attacks him too and runs away. Quentin goes after her, but she escapes by jumping down from the rooftop. He comes back to Sherwin and Jean and sees that Jean is having severe stomach pain. Sherwin makes her wear his amulet, but Quentin says that it is just for protection. On the other hand, Magda tells Minda that the girl with Quentin is in grave danger because of Catalina's evil eye hex. If witches can hex from afar, a folk healer can also cure from afar. Just then there is a light and Minda appears there. She puts her hand on Jean's forehead and says Pwera usog, and then she disappears with a bright light, and Jean is also cured. Then all three come back and say thanks to Minda. After this, Minda performs a ritual and Catalina possesses her. Seeing this, they all get scared and strong wind starts blowing in the house. But after some time everything becomes normal, and Minda says that she saw Luna in the antique house in Catalina's forest. Now they all come outside Catalina's house, where Minda tries to see her but says that she cannot see her from here. They then all come inside the house where there is a big painting of Catalina. Then someone calls Quentin by his name and he starts going in that direction. They find Luna in a room, but Minda says she can feel that she is being watched by Catalina. Quentin then surrounds her with salt, after which Minda puts her hand on her head and asks them to pull her away from the circle when they see her trying to fight. She then begins reading some spells and reaches the other world. There she sees Luna and asks her where is Catalina. Luna points her aside, but she doesn't see anyone there. And then suddenly Catalina comes there and they both start fighting. Now she can't even stand in front of Catalina's powers, and before those people could pull her out of the circle, Catalina kills her. They try to wake her up, but then Luna says that she is gone. Quentin gets very angry on hearing this and he throws saliva on Luna, but it doesn't affect her, and she knocks him down. Now she comes after Sherwin and Jean, but they both try to stop her by closing the door. But then they start hearing some noise and suddenly Luna appears on the ceiling. They both run out of the house and Sherwin asks Jean to go ahead and he will take care of this. Jean notices that Sherwin does not have his amulet around his neck and suddenly he starts vomiting blood. Meanwhile, Quentin regains consciousness and sees that Catalina is standing near Jean and Sherwin. But when he comes to kill her, he stops seeing Luna, who asks him to leave her and Catalina alone. Quentin says he will now take care of her, to which she says he abandoned her. And suddenly she turns into Catalina, attacks him, and knocks him down again. During this, Jean makes a circle of salt and challenges Catalina. Catalina runs towards her, and as she enters the circle, Jean reaches the other world. There Catalina attacks her and Jean tells her to take her, but gives Luna her freedom back. Hearing this, Catalina does the same and frees Luna, and when she starts making Jean her captive, she runs away. Now seeing this, Catalina gets very angry and catches her, after which she starts torturing her. Quentin finds Luna outside and she tells him that Jean offered herself in place of her. Here Catalina is sucking Jean's energy when suddenly she disappears from there, because Quentin pulls her out of the circle. They both go to Sherwin where Jean heals him with Pwera usog, and he tells her that she should become a folk healer. Then Catalina reappears there and says that she will pay for her absurdity. But only then Luna stabs her, and says she can never bother this world anymore. Catalina turns and asks if she really thinks that thing will kill her, and only then Quentin sprays saliva on her and begins reading some spells. But Catalina starts laughing as if nothing is happening to her. Quentin asks for help from her grandma, and we see Magda and Minda's spirits coming there, and with their help and strength, Quentin burns Catalina to death. Now a few days later we see that Quentin has started healing at his mother's place, and Jean and Sherwin come to visit him and they see Luna there with him. Quentin gives them amulets to strengthen their spirit force and explains that spirit force is the power inside our body. Jean's inner power seems to be stronger because she cured Sherwin of Catalina's hex. She asked how it became stronger, to which Luna tells that when she sacrificed herself for other people's sake. Now after coming back home, Jean records a video and tells that this will be her last blog. Tomorrow she will close this channel because she has decided to pursue better things. She then tells her dad that she has enrolled last week in a university. He gets happy with her decision and she apologizes for everything. Her dad also says sorry cause after her mother passed away, he never paid proper attention to her. She meets Sherwin at a dinner, where a beggar girl comes to them, whom the waiter tries to drive away. But Jean stops him and says that she will take care of her and order food for her. They set her down on their table and Sherwin goes to wash his hands. But then Jean notices that the girl is talking to someone, and when asked, she points to a direction where Jean finds Catalina standing. That's when the girl shows her Luna's doll, which scares Jean and suddenly Catalina attacks her. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon never to miss new video updates. Thanks for watching.